right, everybody. This is the Posted Up with Chris Haynes podcast, and I got my guest, man, one of my main guests, Portland Trailblazer star Damian Lillard. Dame, man, thanks for coming on, my guy.
For sure, bro.
It's unfortunate. I'm glad you're here. This is your fifth All-Star, correct?
Yeah, this is my fifth.
Okay, glad you're here, but you suffered your groin injury, right before coming here. So
yeah, last night.
So explain what happened and where you're at right now.
It was just a weird play. I was attacking. It was the end of the game, and I kind of just extended, leaning into the defender. And when I extended my leg, I just felt it. I felt it pull, and I had never done it before. So when I felt it, it was like a little sensation, like just in my groin. And I reached for it, and when I was like grabbing onto it, it didn't hurt when I was like pressing into it and stuff. And then, as a few seconds later, I just could feel it kind of throbbing a little bit. So it was a dead ball, and I bent down. I tried to stretch it out just to see if I could bend down still, and it was fine. Even though it felt sore, I took a couple steps and I knew I had pulled it. So when the ball got back in play, I just reached out, fouled somebody, and just walked straight to the back. Like I knew it was over.
And so obviously you're not going to be able to participate in the three-point contest or the All-Star game. Did you know from that point on, when you suffered that injury, did you know you were out right away?
Yeah, as soon as I took that foul and walked off the court, I knew it wasn't. I knew the playing in the game and shooting and all that stuff was out. So it was disappointing, but I just knew. So that was it.
What's the expectation moving forward now? Do you expect that you'll be available to play the first game back after the break?
Last night was the 12th, and our first game ain't till the 21st. So
okay.
That's 9 days, 9 full days. A lot of treatment, a lot of time to try to figure it out and test it out. But the groin is nothing to play with, so I'm gonna take my time and just try to do all the things that I could do to give myself the best chance to be ready when we come out after the break. But if not, I would say maybe miss one game after the break, or try to be back at least. Try not to at least miss 1 or 2 more games.
Have you had a groin injury before?
Never.
Okay. So that's nothing. Those groin injuries, the hamstrings, those all injuries.
You gotta just let it. You gotta let it bounce back.
And also, which is I remember you made history. I believe it was your second year in the league when you competed in the skills challenge, dunk contest, the rookie sophomore game, the All-Star game. I'm missing one.
3-point.
3-point contest. Yeah. All 5. First player ever do so.
Only player to ever do so.
Still to
nobody ever did.
All right. But you're going to add to that resume, performing on Saturday night. Is that still a go?
Right now, that's still a go.
Okay.
I woke up this morning and I just didn't know how I would feel. How with my groin being so sore, being on stage and being able to move around. I never planned on bouncing around and running around out there to begin with. Mm-hmm. But I just wanted to be able to move comfortably. And right now it's just kind of sore. The movement is kind of funny just walking around. But I plan on still doing it. I think it'll be pretty cool to not be able to participate in the basketball events, but it's still something that I could be doing. Mm-hmm. That would make me different, than just being an athlete. So I think that'd be pretty cool. And the soreness and the fact that I didn't want it to not be a good look that I can't play but I can do music, I was kind of on the fence about it. But now I'm I think it'd be a great story, just to show that versatility. And for my music.
Mm-hmm. And it's not like you're getting up there rapping and dancing.
Nah, you're right. And that's what I was, like I said, I never planned on doing that, but the thought was just all right, you can't do the 3-point, you can't play in the game, but you're gonna go up there and rap. And it's it's not as strenuous, it don't take as much. But it'll be cool, to be I can't do this, but I still got a talent and it's something that could be showcased at All-Star Weekend. Mm-hmm. That's different than the game. So I think that'd be pretty cool.
You've had just a year that's been, it's been, you had some viral moments this past year, whether it's on the court whether it's your music,
Yeah.
whether it's your rap beefs you had, the past year. Like you've been all over the place this year.
Yeah.
And I want to get, there's so much things I want to get to, but I know I can't. But I want to, first of all, are you a little thinner? Or are you a little, you look
I
a
look
little,
skinny?
Yeah, you look a
Yeah,
little.
I'm a little lighter right now.
Okay. Is that just by just the
That's just
playing?
naturally, just playing a lot of minutes and just taking care of myself. I think I've been training more consistently. With Phil Beckner, he come in town, we go get our late night 15, 20, 25-minute workouts in, making sure I keep getting my lifts in. Obviously playing a lot of minutes lately. I think that's just been keeping me lean.
Well, damn, you ain't the only one looking lean around here, man.
You lost some weight. I give you that.
I know. Come on, Dad.
When you gained it, I told you. So I tell you that you lost it.
Now listen,
Proud of you.
The thing about Dan, he'll let you know. Like he'll keep it real with you. Like even if you don't ask, he's going to tell you.
I was talking about this last night with
who?
some people, with my
some
mom,
people?
my cousins,
What'd you
my
say?
friends. They said that when they like gain weight or something, I be telling them, like they said I be fat shaming them, and they was laughing about it. And I told them, like, I'm not fat. I wouldn't fat shame nobody. I'm being a real friend. Like, I'm telling you the truth.
So the first time you told me the truth, we were in Vegas. And I forgot what casino we were walking through, but I had a Adidas jumpsuit on. Yeah. And you was like, man, you looking kind of wide on the sides there. And so you were the first one that said something, right?
See, I love you for real. Nobody else said nothing.
You were the first one that said something, and I was like, I dismissed it because I'm like, well, maybe this is a big jumpsuit. Like I still didn't believe you. No, I didn't believe you. And wasn't nobody telling me that. And look, and one thing, I was 36 at the time.
Right. So
you get a certain age, you're supposed to develop into your man body. So I'm like, maybe that's just my man body. I don't think I'm big, but it took me.
You was in denial, bro.
I was in denial, but I was eating good.
I know. I see you with the pull-up pod.
I've been eating good.
You on TV.
Hey, damn it,
Them checks hitting different.
I know. You ain't never lied, dang.
I know.
You ain't never lied. So life is pretty good right now. So I had a little bit too many meals, the portions a little bit too much. But damn, it was last summer. I went with family at the beach, and they take a picture of me, and I got my shirt off, and in the picture I'm flexing hard flexing, like you know what I mean? Can't
you don't
breathe.
See no muscles.
Can't see nothing. The picture came out. I'm like, what? It looked like I wasn't doing anything. From that day on, I could, soda. I drank about 232-ounce sodas a day. You know how I got down?
I know.
You were trying to get me on a vegan diet for a minute.
I know.
I couldn't. That's not. I'm not doing that.
I had to let that go too.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. But no, first of all, like I said, I appreciate that. You kept it real. I didn't think you were fat shaming me. You just being yourself.
I'm never fat shaming.
You just being yourself.
That got to be clear. I'm never fat shaming. I'm just telling. I want my people to be healthy.
That's real.
And aware. So that's
real.
It, man.
All right. So you've been on a tear on this basketball. It's been fun to watch, man. Yeah. It's like there's no point guard better in the league right now. That's just point blank. I've come to the realization now that you're the best Blazer of all time. I thought you were eventually going to get there, maybe a year or two later from now. But nah, what you've been doing. Tell me just about this surge this past month. What you've been doing. What started that? What prompted that?
The whole season we have been going through injuries, guys in and out the lineup. Just having to play. Our rookies having to play our two-way players, and I've always just wanted to. Show confidence in everybody and give everybody a opportunity because it's a team game. And to me, it's not just about wins and losses all the time. I think it means something to me when Moses Brown gets into the game or Jalen Horde gets into the game. And when they get out there, they looking like they know who's the star on the team. They know who the me and CJ and Melo, they know that. But it's important for me to make them feel like, we teammates. You belong out here. I'm going to give you an opportunity to show what you need to do. And I think that's so important to me that, I was just like, I'm going to be patient, with everything, with the injuries, with us playing our young guys, us having two-way guys, everything. At times it was like a little bit frustrating because – we were losing. And anytime you're losing and we've been winning all this time, you're going to, have some frustration. But it was more important to me to, feel a part of the team and have everybody feel like they're part of the team. And I was just going with that. And then once we got to that point where it was like, all right, I got to start forcing my hand, just for the sake of us coming out on top a few more times. So I was like, if I go for it and we come up short, then I know that my intentions was right. I was doing it to, get us going in the right direction. And, we got one win against Golden State, and then the next one, we lost. I had like a big game against Dallas, but we lost.
Yeah.
But like CJ didn't play. We didn't have a bunch of players because we had just made a trade, so we was shorthanded. We had some more injuries. But I was like, I'm not going to stop. So like the next couple games was like, I don't know, Indiana, Utah, the Lakers, the Rockets twice. It was like a bunch of good teams, and we beat a bunch of good teams with me just going out there full out attack. So that's all it was. I was just like, I'm going to go out here and get in super attack mode and just try to impose my will on the game and try to get some more wins. And it was working, so I just kept my foot on the gas.
I witnessed that Laker game.
Yeah.
That was obvious. That was the game, the first game that the Lakers played since Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe had passed. And we'll talk about him later. And you went. What was that? Was that a 50? Was that a 50?
I had 48, 10 assists, and 9 rebounds.
Yeah, that's right. 1 rebound. And I remember I was sitting right. The media section I was at was right behind the basket. You actually let a rebound go out of bounds at the end of that game. That would have been your triple-double.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Dave didn't know. He didn't know. But then, right after that Laker game, you went in Utah. What was that?
I had 51
That
against
was
Utah.
Back to back.
Yeah, back to
Did
back.
did you feel that? Like, physically, did you feel the wear that you were putting on?
No.
That
I mean, it's I just wasn't thinking about it like that. I was like I said, I was going into these games like we need to win games. So after that, I was like, Utah gonna probably come out here thinking they on a back-to-back. They tired.
Yeah.
They played last night. And I felt like they was gonna have that mentality. So I was like, I'm gonna come out super aggressive so they know last night is over with. So,
but that game last night wasn't just any game.
I
That was
know
an
it wasn't.
emotionally filled game for everybody involved.
Yeah,
Like,
it was.
What was that game for you playing that against the Laker team that night in LA?
I mean, I think it was emotional for everybody, because majority of us grew up as huge fans of Kobe and idolizing Kobe, and then we, become peers of his and playing against him and, being in all-star games with him, and some people on Team USA and some people being a teammate. It's just, I think we were all emotional about that. And then the whole ceremony before the game, you could have been a person that didn't know Kobe, and in that moment, Dear Basketball and seeing all the memories they showed to him and having people represent him, a person that didn't know him could have been sad, or emotional in that moment. So I think it made it different for like the players who knew him and played against him and idolized him growing up. So I think that alone made it super emotional. But for me, I was like, once the game started, it was tough to begin the game. I was just like, man, how do you get excited to make a shot or win a game when after what we just, kind of experienced? But once the game got going, I was like, let's play. If we're going to honor him and we're going to be out here, let's do it in his style. Why not do it in his style? So once we started playing, that was that. I mean, to me, I feel like he has family members and really close friends who, our emotions and our pain won't ever come close to. Even though, sometimes we try to make it about, oh, I knew him and that was my friend and that was this. And we try to, some people try to make it about, what it means to them personally when he got real family and real people around him that's really hurting. And I also understood that, so I honored him in the way that I felt like I should and that I could.
Yeah, no, you definitely that was like Mamba type behavior to what you put on there. Where were you at when you heard that he passed?
I was walking in church. I walked in church and we actually had a game that day. That was the day we played Indiana.
Okay.
I walked in church, and I was with Phil Beckner, right, my trainer. And he was like, "I'm gonna go to the restroom right quick." And I was like, "All right, I'll wait for you." And I just pulled my phone out, put my phone on vibrate, and when I clicked it, the light on my screen lit up, and it said, "NBA player Kobe Bryant dies in a crash." And I was like, "This fake." I clicked on it, and it was everywhere. And I was like, I still didn't believe it. So I mean, I spent like the first 30 minutes in church just on my phone, just like. Waiting for it to be like a real thing, and I still didn't believe it until I left, and it was like the teams and everybody was reaching out to us. You know, that's when I was like, wow, like real disbelief.
I was at home. Yeah, I was at home, and my phone blew up. I was in the shower. My phone blew up, and they was like, "Is this true? Is this true?" And one of Kobe's good friends, texted me and said it was. Yeah. I couldn't. I saw you had a quote out there. You was waiting for a story to come out that he jumped out and saved everybody or something like that.
I mean, you literally think when you think about Kobe, like I was like just waiting for something to be like. I mean, like literally, he was like getting up and he had a lot of injuries, but he was like gonna walk away from it, and just crazy, man. Crazy.
What's the fondest memory you take from the time you spent with Kobe?
I think my most fond memory is probably my first All-Star game. Just that whole experience was new, and I'm walking into the locker room, and I had LaMarcus with me, so I had a teammate in there, and it was my first time, so that was like comforting, but. When he walked in, that was what really made me feel like validated and like I deserved to be there, because he said it to me, like, you deserve to be here, you're gonna be here, like you're gonna continue to be here. When you go out there, shoot it every time.
Yeah, because that's when you weren't playing, like you weren't.
I only played like probably 7 minutes in that game.
Yeah,
but he was talking to me in the locker room. Because he didn't play.
Gotcha.
But he was like, he came in the suit and the shades on, and he was like, he was talking to me. So it was just, I think that'll probably be my most fond memory. And then on the bench, I sat next to him on the bench for most of the game, and he was talking to me the whole time. Exchanged contacts. He was like, just reach out if you ever got any questions, you want to know something. And I was like, to me, that was big, because at the time I was like, 22, 23.
Yeah.
First All-Star game, and he just took the time. So I thought that was pretty cool.
You mentioned something earlier, and this is something that I've observed in watching you and how you prepare for games. I pretty much got your routine down. You're one of the very few stars get pregame work in early. Yeah. You're one of the ones that you get there early and you do your pregame work. Then you'll sit on the bench. I'm talking about like right before you play. Most guys come out late or they don't come out at all. And after that, you'll usually go to the locker room. Yeah. And I've been noticed. I think it was Staples Center. So you finished your workout, and you were walking back towards the locker room, in which I thought you were going to the locker room. And then you passed the locker room. I'm like, where are you going? He's like, I'm going to chapel.
Yeah.
I'm like, chapel? when you started to chapel? He said, man, I got to get my prayer in, man. Yeah. Like, what started that?
I mean, I think just looking in the mirror, you look in the mirror and you trying to, figure yourself out and try to better yourself, and for the growth purposes. I think naturally the first thing you do is you look to try to go to church or find your faith. And for me, I didn't want to just be faking it and going to church. So being in a Bible study group, going to chapel, and just getting that word. And
when did all that start?
I would say like beginning of the season.
Okay.
Beginning of the season. Like, I haven't missed a chapel this season. I had Rick in chapel.
Rick Riley, security extraordinaire.
I had Rick in chapel with
you got Rick. Man, you got Rick in chapel. That's an accomplishment right there.
But just getting that word. I think, with the growth that I'm trying to have, and how I'm trying to like really be honest with myself, just getting that word has been really helpful for me. You know, just a lot of the stories that come from the Bible and a lot of the ways that the Bible connects to our lives every day. You know, a lot of times in chapel, I feel like it really connects to my life, and there's a lot of ways that I could apply it to my life. And the fact that everybody there feels that way, I just feel like it's, you know, it has a lot of strength, a lot of power in it, and it's helped me, you know, just as far as peace, you know, and clarity.
It got to one point where you were walking the chapel, and I was going through something at the time. I said, "Dang, say a prayer for you, man." He said, "I already got you." He said, "I already got you." I'm like, "Oh, that's my dude, man. I appreciate it." But what you ain't got to, you know, you ain't got to detail too much. But what were you going through to get to the point where you felt like you need to do something else?
I mean, I feel like a lot of things was going well. Like my career was going well, the music was doing well. Making a lot of money, doing all these great things, but it wasn't what was filling me up.
You didn't feel fulfilled.
Yeah, I just was like, you know, it's all great, you know, that it's working out this way, but I just didn't feel full, and I didn't feel great about everything, and it was like the relationships with everybody in my family. Like, it's not bad, but it's just like I need to be spending more time, you know, investing in those things and, you know, caring about how they doing day to day and what's going on with them. My personal relationship with my girlfriend and just all of those things is like, those are the things that truly make me happy. And I was like giving more time to my career and wanting to record my music and the next contract and this endorsement, and I got to go here, I got to go there, and that stuff just wasn't what was filling me up. So I just knew a change needed to be made. So I felt like it was right to look for that in the Word.
Now, I'm going through similar things like that myself, trying to be here, there, these all other places. And the fact of the matter is, I can't stop doing all those things.
I haven't stopped.
But how do you make it all work? How do you spend more time over here and still take care of your professional obligations?
Well, for me, it's not that hard because even though I'm on the road, I got to travel to games, I got to go to appearances, I got to do all this stuff. I think as athletes and media members, it's easy because people know our lives are busy. It's easy to be like, I don't have time to do this, or I don't have time to do that. But really, like, we have a lot of time. We have a lot more time than like we put off. So it's just a matter of like how important are the other things that you might have to do when you don't feel like doing it. And I think that's what I figured out. Like, when I go home after practice, or if we get back from a road trip that next day, I would typically be like, I'm not doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to sit here and not go nowhere. Instead of the next day, maybe like I go to my mom's house. Or like the other day, I was sitting there and I was like, all right, I went to dinner with my girl last night. Tonight I'm in the house, but like, how could I find something that's going to make me feel good? Like, so I'm texting with my nephew. My nephew, 11 years old now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you want to come over?
Yeah.
He like, yeah. I text my brother, like, what time he starts school. He got to be there at 7:30, whatever. I got practice the next day, so I'm like, all right, I can get a night in with my nephew. I know he gonna want to come over. The ride to the car to school, we can talk, have some conversation. Like, he might talk to me different than he gonna talk to his dad or his mom.
Yeah.
And I know he want to talk to me, so we talked all the way till we got to school. I walked him to his class. Everybody was going crazy for him at school, and it was like, I was like, man, I had to get up super early. Now I got to drive to practice. But, like, I felt good about my day after that because it was like I spent the night with my nephew. I got up, took him to school. I know he happy, so that made me happy. Like, we got to spend some time. The day before that, I was with my son all day, and then he with a nanny getting ready to go to bed, and me and Kayla, we go to eat. Yeah. We having conversation one-on-one. Like, that's the stuff that make me feel good about my life. Like, when my people is taken care of and they happy and our relationships is where it's supposed to be. So I don't think going to chapel and going to church and all that stuff made me do it. It just made me realize it, it made me like more open to doing, you know, all of those things.
And that's I think that's what people don't see.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously you say you feel more fulfilled in doing all those things. But I know how you are when you get pissed off at certain games that you drop. And I've noticed this year, like especially earlier in the year, like things weren't going well. And you always post on social media just something positive, like I'm moving on. Like, and I could just tell it was just a different mindset that you have. Yeah. Take that Utah game, for example. Like, you got host, official, you know. I was surprised you didn't get fined.
I don't think I mean.
I would just say people have got fined for saying less. I would just say that.
I mean, you're right, but it was like, I mean, like I said, look at our situation as a team.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And look at what happened on national TV.
On national TV, and fining you would have put more negative pub on that whole situation. So I get it. But
to me, it wasn't about pub or none of that. It was like we worked too hard and played too hard, man. Like, even if they call that and we go to overtime and lose, if that's how it's gonna go down, that's how it's gonna go down. But it can't go down like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And if it do, had the same reaction every time.
So now you guys are in the situation you are in. Now you got to try to make a strong second half surge.
Yeah.
You really do believe you guys have what it takes to get there, huh?
I think people are looking at the situation like we 12 games out.
No, you're what?
We can win 3 in a row, and Memphis can lose 3 in a row.
Mm-hmm. You're right there.
And it's like, if that happens, that can very easily happen. I mean, it's not far at all. So I don't know why it's being mentioned like.
No, it's
like
not.
We way out.
It's not. It's not. The way you've been playing, I got no doubt. Hopefully, you can continue that pace. But help's supposed to be coming on the way. You know, Yusuf Nurkic is supposed to be back second half. Zach Collins. So hopefully, you can get some help. But I think you guys I'm betting on you guys to be in there. You know.
I mean, I think I have help.
You mean help? You mean you have help? What are you talking about?
You said some help is on the way. I mean, obviously having Nurkic.
Yes, you have help, Dave. You have help. Yes.
I'm just saying.
You have help, but y'all not in the top 8 right now. That's what I
mean, that's because we've had injuries, people being in and out the lineup.
Yeah.
Trades in the middle of the season. Like, we've had a tough year. I think at full strength, everybody knows we wouldn't be in this situation. But we've had guys, like I said, in and out the lineup. Made a trade like middle of the season. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've had a lot of adversity and just stuff happening all the time. So,
well, my last question, Dane, before you get out of here, man. Like I feel like you're an MVP candidate. I'm going top 3. I might get killed for that. Whatever. I don't care. I just think the way you put your team on your back, even at that position you're in right now, I still think you gotta. It has to be rewarded somehow, whether it's a mention or you do get the hardware. Yeah. How do you feel you're playing right now? You feel like you're playing your best ball of your career?
I think I'm playing my best of my career. I understand both sides. Like, somebody sent me a clip on, I think it was First Take, and it was like, they in 9th place. He can't be an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
And I was like, I see why somebody would say that. And then I saw other people like, he's a top 3 MVP candidate, and I also could understand that. So, I mean, it is what it is. I don't put too much stock into it. Like, it's whatever. I'm not doing it to say, call me MVP. I'm doing it to give my team a chance to be in the playoffs. And I think once we get in the playoffs, then you can determine who's most valuable to their team and what took place this season. But I do think I'm having an MVP-level season, and it's being I think it's a lot being taken away from it because of our team's success. So, I mean, it is what it is.
No doubt. Well, I wish you success. You've done some damage this whole year, and you know people give you credit for breaking that OKC team up. Paul George.
That's old news, man.
I'm just saying, just the whole year of tear you just been on, man.
I mean, that's old news.
Hey, you okay, man? I want to see some good upcoming news coming out. I know you got some things going on personally that, you know, is going to break. So I want to say, just as a man, as a friend, man, I'm happy for your growth.
Appreciate it, man.
I'm not even talking as a player. I knew all this. I'm talking about your growth, things you're going through personally, man. I love it. I see it. And, man, I just wish nothing but the best, man. And I'm going to try to keep this thing fit, man, over
Appreciate
here,
it,
man.
man. Keep it under control, man.
My dude, Damian Lillard. Portland Trail Blazers star, Damian Lillard.
Yeah.